Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel.
And this time we are in Istanbul.
One of the most beautiful cities.
It's been a city that we've been so looking forward to traveling, and we are finally here.
Yes, we arrived yesterday night, and with the jet lag we just grabbed a kebab and went to bed. So today is our first day here, and we are right outside our first stop, Galata Tower, to get the first glimpse of the city. Let's go! So, we came up with the elevator. We're gonna take the stairs. You can take the stairs up as well, but it's quite a steep climb. So I think most people are taking it to go down. It looks like this. Our next stop is Istiklal Caddesi, which is a huge shopping street in the center of Karaköy, Beyoğlu. So what we're doing is we're walking from roughly the Galata Tower region north to get to Taksim Square. So we made a pit stop for lunch. We are at one of the traditional tavernas called Meyhanni, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, which is off Istiklal Caddesi. And so far we have gotten already this is yogurt with garlic, something like the Greek tzatziki, and we are waiting for some more.
So this is our lunch. So we have grilled meatballs, and there's some sort of rice, and then we have some onions and tomatoes. So it looks yummy. We're gonna dig in now.
Okay, so after food, it's almost mandatory to have some dessert, and since we are in Turkey, we came for some baklava. So we got different types of baklava, so I'm not too sure exactly what this is called, but these are also like baklava-like, and this is something a bit different. It has pistachio and Nutella inside, something like lukum, combination of lukum. Yeah, so let's try. Nice.
Sugar overload.
Alright guys, this is day 2.
And we are at the most iconic place in Istanbul, the Aya Sofia.
Yes, so the queue is massive, so let's just throw the video here.
Queue starts all the way from here, and it goes. It's a massive queue. Goes all the way. Huge crowd of people, and up to here. And we are about to enter.
Yes, and we are super excited. Let's show you around.
Aya Sofia surpasses the many important monuments in Istanbul due to its innovative architecture and rich history. It was built as a church by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian, converted into a mosque by the Ottomans,
So ladies need to cover.
and later to a museum.
Aya Sofia is gorgeous. The only thing is that the mosaics are not very well preserved. But other than that, it's glorious. That's what it
The
is.
dome is really massive and like spectacular.
Yeah. So now our next stop is right next to Aya Sofia, the Basilica Sister. And from the looks of it, the queue is massive here too. So another round of waiting. We'll see you inside. So, time for a lunch break, and we came to a place right opposite Aya Sofia. It's probably a locanda slash kebab place. Locandas are the places that have ready-made food, and you just see and choose what you want. Um, so we got from the locanda we got this dish. It's with chicken and vegetables. We got it with some rice. And for the kebab, we got chicken kebab in a portion. So, time to eat. Our next stop is the Blue Mosque. In general, all these Aya Sofia, the Basilica Sister, and the Blue Mosque are within the same,
Within the same area.
yeah, within the same
They're
area.
just nearby.
Next to each other, basically. So it's very easy to go from place to place. So, yep, we're gonna see you at the Blue Mosque.
Unfortunately, when we visited Istanbul, the Blue Mosque was under full renovation, so we could only admire it from the outside. However, the inside was fully covered and the mosaics were barely visible. We do think though that when the renovation is complete, it will be one of the must places to visit in Istanbul.
So, right next to the Blue Mosque, it's a park, a Meidani, it's called the Hippodrome, and they have two big obelisks. One is of Theodosius and the other one is of Constantine. So now next stop is Arasta Bazaar. Let's go. We came to a cute little cafe next to between Aya Sofia and the Blue Mosque. We have some Turkish coffee and baklava. Time for the coffee. It's quite nice. And it comes with some lokum. So, very typical. You have to try it when you come to Istanbul or Turkey. Alright guys, day 3 in Istanbul, and we are starting by crossing the Galata Bridge. It connects the Galata Karaköy district to the Sultan Ahmed district. And when you're crossing it, you're seeing the views of the Bosphorus. So, let's go.
Our next stop was the Topkapi Palace or Topkapi Sarayı, home to various sultans from the 15th to the 19th centuries. A visit to this opulent palace with its courtyards and pavilions offers a fascinating glimpse into the lives of the Ottoman sultans. An absolute don't miss at the Topkapi Palace is the harem that, unlike what is commonly believed, it was a place governed by tradition, obligation, and ceremony.
So we just came for lunch at a very famous Seven Hills restaurant, and it's in the top of a hotel with amazing views of the Aya Sofia.
Where are we?
We are at the Grand Bazaar.
It's gigantic, but it's a nice place to come and get your souvenirs. Also, they have some very nice quality stuff, so let's get lost in here.
Our next stop was the Nuzurek restaurant at Grand Bazaar, where we enjoyed a juicy steak cut in style.
Hello from day 4 of our trip to Istanbul. We are starting the day at Dolmabahce Palace.
So this is the palace that the sultans moved to from the Topkapi Palace because this was more closer to the European side.
Alright guys, we finished the Dolmabahce Palace. Unfortunately, we couldn't film or take any pictures inside, but it's super nice. Like really, it's super rich and it's full of crystals and porcelains and gold, and they really,
This palace, it was like splurged.
yeah,
It's must visit.
totally. So now we are on our next stop. Not stop per se, but like in our next adventure, we're doing the Bosphorus tour. We are doing just the simple one. We are not including any shows or stuff. So it lasts for about 1.5 hours, and it goes first from the European side and then from the Asian side, and it is giving you the tour to all the monuments that we are passing by. Let's go. It's amazing, but it's super cold. Alright, so our next stop is Siragan Kebinski Hotel. It's a palace that's now converted into a hotel. It has amazing views of the Bosphorus, and we came for coffee and tea, and of course some baklava. So we got a small representation of 5 types of baklava they have here. I can never remember the names. Some tea and coffee. And we are enjoying the amazing hotel and the amazing views from here.
For a relaxing and warm finale to a day spent around the city, we visited a hammam. Hammam literally means bath and is the way to experience a little bit of the Ottoman society. We started with a sauna, continued in a steam room, and finished the treatment laying semi-naked on a marble bed where we were scrubbed and given a nice bath.
Hello guys from day 5 and our last day here in Istanbul. So Istanbul is the only city in the world that is separated between 2 continents.
It's Europe and Asia.
Yes, and most of the touristic sites are in the European side, but
Of course, the Asian side is a must visit as well.
yes, just crossing the Bosporus River to go to the Asian side, it's an experience on its own. So let's go.
Our first stop in Kadıköy was the Moda neighborhood. To get there, we got this tiny little tram from the stop opposite the port and got down at the stop closest to the sea. After a 10-minute walk, we arrived at this gorgeous park with stunning views of the sea. We then explored the center of Kadıköy, which is a more local area compared to the European side, and it's full of cafes, restaurants, and shops. Our next stop was back to the Galata Tower district, where we had to try the famous Turkish ice cream trickery.
So this is our final stop at Istanbul. So we came to a cafe next to the Galata Tower for some nice tea and coffee.
Alright guys, that's a wrap from our trip to Istanbul. But before we close the video, we wanted to give you some tips and observations that we made during our trip in Istanbul.
Yeah.
So, tip number 1. The traffic is insane in Istanbul, but the public transport is really good, so we highly recommend taking it. We recommend taking the Istanbul card. It's basically a card that you can purchase at the ferry, metro and tram stops. You pay 50 Turkish liras to get it, and then you have to top up. It gives you big discounts compared to buying single tickets every time. And the other thing is that taxis are a bit unreliable.
Yeah,
there were times that we could not get a taxi.
Yeah, so never ever rely on the taxis. And in case you want to go to the airport, make sure you make a booking with the hotel reception, and so that the taxis arrive exactly on time.
Tip number 2, the queues are very long at the big landmarks like Aya Sofia or the Blue Mosque. So take that into account when you're planning your day. You will most likely not be able to do many things at the same day due to the queues. Tip number 3, majority of the places do accept cards, apart from some stalls at the Grand Bazaar or the other bazaars. Some of them do accept, but the preferable transaction is cash.
Especially if you want to bargain like very low.
Yeah.
And they prefer to have it in cash rather than by card.
Yeah, and tip number 4, bargain. Not in every place, but especially at the bazaars, do bargain, because they usually give you like an insane price and then you just bargain your way lower and lower. Right, so let's move on to the observations. Observation number 1, unlike to what we were expecting, we actually felt quite safe. Like we never felt like we could be victims of pickpocketing or anything. Maybe we were just lucky, but this is just our experience. Like we were comfortably carrying our backpacks around. Then observation number 2, dogs and cats are very well taken care of in Istanbul.
You will see them a lot on the streets.
Yes, especially the cats. Almost all of them were sterilized, and they have built small houses where they also put feeders for the dogs and cats. So this was actually very nice.
So observation number 3, another very common thing you will notice on the streets are people who have done nose surgeries or hair transplants.
Yes.
So apparently Turkey is, especially Istanbul, is a very common place. I think it's also affordable for them to come here and do these surgeries.
And the technology is quite good as well.
Yes.
So it's affordability and advanced technology. So that is all from our trip, tips and observations about Istanbul. So we hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the subscribe button and the like one as well. We will see you in my next one. Bye!